Colony 6, overusing intros since 1966. Hello there everybody, this is CwapTheNintendin here, and welcome back to more Let's Play Xenoblade Chronicles. Last time, we closed the door on the Bionis order with the side quest Melancholy Tyrea, where we returned Umea to the Bionis. Today, before we head out into the Bionis, we have Umea's maid here. She will only appear after clearing Melancholy Tyrea, and she has some very interesting things to say.
Hi there.
I was the one responsible for Lady Umea during her incarceration. I, her maid, sat with her in the Tower of Investigation. I will never forget that night, on the eve of the Bionis awakening, for I heard a story that deeply affected me. Apparently, Lady Tyrea was conceived at a clandestine ritual. Such rituals were customary to protect the pure Hyantia. It was not known at the time, but her father was half Hums. Yes, can you believe it? He was of mixed lineage. And when this was discovered, he was thrown out of their order. He has not been seen since. However, there is more. It was customary to remove the child from the Imperial line. However, Umea, despite her duty to the Order, gave birth to Tyrea. And even now, it is not clear why Umea dared to defy the Order. Straight after the Bionis awoke, Tyrea visited her mother. The two of them sat, and Umea told the story I tell you now. On that dreaded night, Umea poured her heart out to her child. I believe I witnessed Umea's dying words of love to Tyrea.
Hi there.
Do you think that Umea became a Telethia like the others? All I pray is that she found peace as she returned to the Bionis. You know, Umea and Tyrea might be the classic bad guys, but they love each other. They really are kind of like family in a way. Anyway, right before we head into the Bionis, Leonatus got things to say.
How are you?
Zanza underestimates what we are capable of. That is our chance. Now all you need to do is... Sorry, I know it won't be easy.
How are you?
So close. I am near the answer to restoring Hums liberated from Faces. I'm only missing the final piece of the puzzle. I give my word that I will find the answer for Fiora. According to those cutscenes, Fiora doesn't really have that much time left since, Lady Maynard died. So, she's going to fight with us until the very end, whatever happens. But, Vanea, what do you have to say?
Hello.
Just before he died, Egil changed back to the way he once was. How he was when he was kind and adored by all. It was Shulk who returned him to his former self. Thank you.
Hello.
Anything else? Preparations for the travel into the Bionis interior are complete. Please inform my father when you are ready. I shall accompany you as Lady Maynith would have wished. Right then. So, Nicole, my main dude. Shall we fly? We're ready to fly into the Bionis. Shall we head there now? Yes, we shall, but before we do so, I still want to make things very clear. Aside from a few bonus things that I'm going to cover after the story comes to a conclusion, this LP is for the main story only. I understand that we're not going to take care of every single side quest and every single Collectopedia item, every single, everything. But I just go for more personal satisfaction in my playthroughs as to, me beating the game is me satisfying enough to, consider this a complete success. So, yes, there are going to be side quests left out. There are going to be some, heart-to-hearts left out, unfortunately. But I will promise you this. I am going to cover some certain heart-to-hearts at a later video. So, yeah. Anyway, now that with all that out of the way, let's fly into the Bionis.
It's the inside of the Bionis.
It looks quite different from when we entered via the marsh.
The Bionis is regaining its biological functions.
Must be because Zanza woke it up. Then we find Zanza and stop him. Cool!
I like how Ricky just came up to Shulk all guns blazing like, Shulk, hereupon will beat God. Anyway, here we are at the Bionis interior. The music has changed, and the reason why I said change is because, well, if you recall, we were briefly here before when we entered via Sotoro Marsh. And just to give you an idea of how different everything is, yeah, that's how far we are. Uh-huh. The Bionis interior is now looking a lot bigger now, is it? Alright, so, you want to go back here, actually, because Vinaya, of all people, will have a quest for you.
Hello?
Is the replica Monado to your satisfaction? There is something that I have not yet told you. There are 5 other prototypes in addition to the replica I gave you. Oh, yes, go into greater detail. I can make them if you had the time and the necessary materials. What do you think? Would you like me to make them? Replica Monado 1. So, the Machina have design plans for 5 more Replica Monados. So, yes, please take these 5 designs. They are prototypes and they may be somewhat difficult to wield. They must be used correctly. But once mastered, they are truly formidable weapons indeed. Replica Monado 2. Replica Monado 3. Number 4. And number that is after 4, which is before 6. So, yes, I have a bit of a confession to make about this. Remember what I said about, you know, getting other materials? Well, as you see on screen right here, I got some of the other materials. Now then, some of these are incredibly difficult, and I mean incredibly difficult to get. As of this point, for the main story, we're going to be doing Replica Monados 1 and 2. As for Replica Monados 3 through 5, they require us to get materials from level 80 plus or possibly even 90 plus enemies. So, yeah, no. But, since we're pretty damn close to finishing, well, you know, Replica Monado, well, 2, and since the materials are indeed in the same areas anyway, we're going to be briefly returning to Bionis Lake for a little bit, because 2 of the materials that we need are indeed visible over there. So, why don't we just do it? Tis now raining. So, you'll find Mount Tortoise here on Veliera Hill. This is not what you want to hunt. Instead, you'll want to make it rain or thunderstorm, whichever one. And you'll want to take this thing on. Armored Rockwell. This is a unique monster that will pretty much ensure the dropping of the, you know, immortal moss that you need for Replica Monado 2. Plus, it can pretty much be the, probably the most difficult thing ever. Honestly. Since it is at level 82, honestly. So, yeah, there's that. So, I'm going to take care of this guy real quick, and then we're going to get the materials from him. From his remains. Ho ho ho. Whoa! Whoa! Okay. Whoa, we keep on getting... What? Okay, I guess that counts for something. Ooh, Blossom Dance, baby. Born in War of the Turtles! Against the Turtles! We choose to fight! Turtle soup! Anyway, yeah, topple lock this guy like it ain't no thing. I'm actually pretty proud of that, honestly. And for getting the, for at least beating the Armored Rockwell, you get the thing that is not... Well, I got an advanced art book for 2nd gear and Magnum... Actually, I already have them. Wow. Well, I guess he doesn't... Oh, actually, he kind of does... He does drop it. But... Huh. Well, looks like I'm fighting him again. Well, actually, I'm kind of doing Ricky's yoink for that, so... I agreed to this, so I'm gonna do it. Alternatively, you can go about and go to Sartorial Marsh, and there are indeed level 85 Sartorial Tortas that you can hunt for the Immortal Moss that you need. So, there's that. What are you talking about? I totally got the Immortal Moss. I didn't. But it's a good thing I'm come here anyway, because Armored Rockwell just didn't appear for me for whatever reason. So, why don't we take on the Green Fetus? Now, here's the thing though. Ricky's Yoink. I do not want to beat this thing because I just don't want to be like freaking over leveled for like anything else. So, we are going to do this. I've raised Ricky's agility temporarily for this. So, he should hit, well, a little bit more often. I say a little bit more often because, well, he just needs to hit more so that his talent out could possibly work and possibly steal an item. Possibly. So, there's that. Oh, okay. Please let this be the one because Ricky said, Ricky, get the rare item. That means you got a rare item. Okay, please. Please let this be the one. Oh, come on. I've been recording for nearly 39 minutes. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Or, thank you, Zanza, in that case. Whoo! Okay. I'm at 40 minutes into recording. But I did it. I got the materials I need for the, thing. The Replica Monados. So, for the other materials that I got off screen, while I was doing my rounds for Colony 6 collecting and all that stuff, you can see all of them on screen right now. Or rather, you can see them on screen momentarily. So you'll know exactly where to get them and how you do it. So, hello Vinaya. I finally freaking got your materials.
Hello.
I see you have gathered the necessary materials. I will get to work immediately. Fade to black as you hide an animation. I have finished. The Monado Rudra is designed for attack stability. Its lightweight materials narrow the range of the attack power. The damage is more focused, making it a reliable weapon. I hope this weapon gives you the strength and power to succeed. Indeed, so we got the Monado Rudra. I'll go into more detail about these weapons after we've gotten all the necessary materials we need for both replica Monados that we're getting for the main story only. So, the Monado Agni provides a high block rate. It is made from hard materials for increased durability. Damage is somewhat unfocused, but the block rate is greatly increased. Alright, so we get the Monado Agni as well. And yes, I have beaten down so many enemies, or rather so many of those enemies I need to hunt, that I'm almost at the threshold of level 79. Oh boy. Alright, so, the Monado Agni provides better stats, so I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna use the Monado Agni for now. So the Monado Agni, of course, has a higher block rate, meaning that, of course, Shulk, you know, being not the most, you know, defensive character in the world, even though he pretty much has 600 defense at this point. He's gonna be doing a lot more, you know, holding on to his life. Plus, that replica Monado looks cool, though. I'm not gonna lie, it really does look pretty cool. But either way, I'm just gonna add the same amount of gems that I did, just because, well, I want higher critical hit rate on, you know, the Monado Agni. So there's that. But where's the critical? Okay, here it is, right here. 28% critical hit rate, that's not really that bad at all. As for some of the other replica Monados, I'm also going to make note of this as of right now. You remember those, Defend Colony 6 quests? Well, when you're near completion of, Colony 6 Reconstruction, it says that the Monado, Replica Monado 5 or 4 requires a Dragon Everflame. By doing that last Defend Colony 6 quest, you actually get to fight the creature that drops the demonic Everflame. So, I'll make note of that type of thing whenever we run into it. But for now, I'm addressing the elephant in the room. These enemies right here, these cells, we're now entering the Bionis interior, and holy crap, does it look different. It looks so much different from any other area that we've seen yet. And, you know, even after our little bit of a brief visit, it still manages to be really cool, you know? It manages to be really cool atmospherically as well, though. But as for these enemies, there's no way in hell I'm doing that because, well, I had to beat down all of these monsters. I've gone up to level 78 at this point. I do not want to be over-leveled for the last few areas of the game. Oh, and by the way, I'm going down here as a tradition. Because why? I want you to take a look at yourself for the area intro. But I'm only going to be doing fighting if it has to involve unique monsters and all that. So anyway, I welcome you to the Bionis interior. Definitely looks a lot different than it once was, wouldn't you say?
You look well, Your Highness.
That voice. It's Lorithia. Show yourself.
Look at that. The heart of the Bionis. The pulsating life of Lord Zanza.
Quit your yapping and show yourself.
I await Your Highness here. There is something I wish to show you. Your friends are welcome to join you. That is, if they survive.
Lorithia, what are you planning?
Forget her for now. We must push on to the heart.
All right.
The Bionis interior. This area looks beautiful, man. On a technical level, this looks absolutely amazing. Once again, just like the Mechanis, it manages to be so different atmospherically. I just love it. I just love the look of this place, though. But of course, several people in the Xenoblade fandom do have their grievances with this place, which I'll go into in a little bit. But for now, we found a heart-to-heart that has, you know, requires max affinity between Charlotte and Fiora. And that's not one of the heart-to-hearts I plan on covering. Well, in the near future. Instead, we gotta push on through to the hearts. Now, I want to make this more clear here. Because, well, Yoink works so much randomly, everyone is pretty much at level 78 at this point. In fact, Ricky's almost at level 79. As a result of that, I don't really want to fight any, you know, monsters, as it were, unless it's like a unique monster that we have to fight for the Affinity Coin. Because, well, spoiler warning, this area has unique monsters. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. But I am going to say this right now. These enemies look creepy as hell. Like, we're basically inside the Bionis right here, right? And as the Bionis is awakening, it fits the area. These enemies fit the area so well. And I just like their design so much, though. Their designs, though, they're brilliant. Of course. But of course, with that being said, there are several grievances that, you know, the fandom has with this place. And, well, of course, with the Bionis interior. But, of course, I will be stating my opinions about this as we go along here. Sarsaparilla. Okay. So, the Bionis interior looks very different, of course. Like, there's all these cells going on here, and there's all this green everywhere. And we're just basically inside, like, you know, Zanza's body, as it were. So, it looks very different in that sense, really. So, it's impressive on a technical level. I guess that's what makes me, like, stand this place. Why do I say stand this place? Well, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. All throughout the Bionis interior, you're basically on these narrow passageways, right? And there are several large enemies in the way. Most of these enemies in the Bionis interior can inflict blowdown. Or rather, can use blowdown attacks. If you recall what that is, basically, it blows you away. So, if you're on these narrow pathways, consider your ass, like, gone. Because unless you're in that spot over there where that geyser is, you're gonna fall into ether and you will die. Yeah, no joke. Or that geyser over there. It's kind of weird. How could they not, like, have this oversight scene? Like, honestly, this is probably my least favorite area. I mean, I kind of sort of like it in the regard that it looks so much different atmospherically. Like, I'm still gonna regard it as, like, that one area atmospherically that is really good. But it's just that, you know, and there's also these Telethia here, the Draco's Telethia. They're the same type of enemy. They're the same type of Telethia we fought before. Like, you know, Dixon's Telethia was this type of Telethia. And yeah, this guy's hitbox is so huge that it could easily knock you away off of the platform and then die. The guardrails right here don't really do that much in order to help you out with, you know, just staying on there. Yeah, so that's helping. Very helping. And aside from that, though, I'm basically looking down here because there is that probable chance I'll miss item orbs, but those circles right there look so much like item orbs that, you know, it's really confusing, honestly. But I'm addressing the elephant in the room right here. Victorious Gross. You know, aside from Experienced Tristan, Bionis Interior pretty much has some of my favorite, like, unique monster names also. Like, I still stand by the point that Experienced Tristan is still my favorite unique monster name. But Victorious Gross, though. These names never cease to amaze me, I swear to God. But either way, we're going to fight this thing really quick. Like I said before, unless it's with a unique monster, I'm not going to be doing any more fighting with regular enemies unless, you know, they're in the way. And yeah, they also have, you know, confused status. So the confused status is also helping with, you know, the fact that, you know, they can fall off the cliff. Pretty much just like I said before when, you know, we fought Frenzied Bana before. So I'm going to take care of these guys, and then we're going to continue on our way through the interior. Alright, so that's done. So let's see, what do we got? We have steel cellular cells and an advanced arbor for airfighting. Dang. You know what? You know what? Speaking of arts, I should actually go into my arts right away, actually, because there was a complete elephant in the room that I forgot. Monado Shield. Level it up to level 9, because if you level it up to level 9, you're good to go for the rest of the adventure, or the rest of the game. Blah. And I should really get to learning those advanced arts, honestly, because I have a lot of them, and having advanced art books is a good thing. And I have not learned any of these yet, so yeah, that's good. That's good. Oh, I already had the second gear one. Okay, that's good. But anyway, yes, continuing onward. Yeah, the item orbs right here are so confusing. Yeah, and speaking of or confusing to find, because there's a lot of these similar looking circles. Yeah, they are clearly a different color, but honestly, they blend in. They blend in. That's what I'm trying to say. They blend in so well that, you know, it's like you're trying to find an item orb and it's like, whoops, it's not an item orb, so whoops, it's not that good, honestly. And yeah, speaking of the item orbs, Bionis Interior Collectopedia sucks. It does. No one trades for these items. And pretty much just like in the case with Agneritha, no one trades for them. I already said that, but I wanted to make it more prominent. While it's not as bad, well, okay, yes, it is worse. Yeah, the Bionis Interior Collectopedia just sucks because there is one particular item in particular that you're going to be having trouble finding a lot in the Bionis Interior. And you're going to need 3 of them. I'll note that item when that time comes. But I've been addressing I've been leaving out another elephant in a room of sorts. Officer Robusto. Like, Victorious Cross and Officer Robusto are probably some of my favorite, like, unique monster names, too. Honestly. Honest and for truly. So once again, this being a unique monster, it is big, it is a cell, and it is a cell. One thing you want to note is that this thing has a mean topple spike, so if you're going to topple this thing, make sure you do a Monado Purge while you're doing it, which is what I'm going to do right now. So I'm going to take care of Officer Robusto. Sorry, Officer Robusto. But I got to purge you, I got to do a final cross to topple you, and then I got to do the freaking thing in which I do the thing in which I get the Infinity Coin by doing so. And dang, 35,000 for Steel Strike, damn. Man, just before it get off its attack. Man, because that attack sucks, man. Somehow it can inflict sleep, which is really weird when you think about it, but whatever. We beat it. And that's all that matters. Nutritious microbes, okay. And what do we got? Hot cellular cell. Okay. Speaking of cells, this is that area in which, you know, you can find those cells that you need for Colony 6 special level 4, I think. And yes, they expect you to. But either way, yes, the Collectopedia here just sucked because of one particular item. Again, we'll make note of it as the time comes. But that's also another thing about, you know, finding the Collectopedia, because you're going to be spending so much of the time just trying to find the Collectopedia items for it. The music. You know, I never say this, but I haven't really said anything about, you know, Tephra Caves or Ether Mine's music. But I might as well say them right now. The trio of songs, Bionis Interior, Tephra Cave, and all that stuff, those are probably, in my opinion, the least good songs, in my opinion. Because, well, you know, Ether Mine is probably the worst of the 3 evils, honestly, because I don't ever recall, like, listening to Bionis, or, not Bionis, Ether Mine, excuse me. I just don't think it's got a good melody to it, honestly. It just has that 4 repeating themes, like, do. It's dull. And here's a Gigas Telethia, which is really cool. Oddly enough, this is the same kind of Telethia that Umea transformed into, so that's helping. But yeah, it's, I don't know, like, part of me kind of, oh, wow. Okay. Well, I guess I better die. Unless I can actually reach it over there. Can I get over there? Can I get over there? Because I am kind of curious. Can I make it before the ether kills me? Because I never fall down here. So, technically, terrain defense gems can help you out, but I don't think it really will matter in the long run because you're essentially dead. Okay, come on. Please make it. 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 Game. You suck. Sure, stand on air and stand in the water. That helps. Alright, back to where I was before those Telethia got on my ass. I don't know, it's just like, part of me kind of appreciates Bionis Interior's music because, well, it has this sort of otherworldly feel to it that, you know, no other song has up to that point. Sort of like Makana's Field in that regard. I mean, it's not one of my favorite songs on the soundtrack. I occasionally like to go back and listen to it. Because, well, you know, when discussing, like, Bionis Interior, most people would often disregard it as kind of like the worst area in the game. Because not only for all those reasons, but it can kind of sort of get easy to get lost in that. Because the navigation is kind of weird, honestly, because you have all these pathways that go every which way possible. And it's kind of weird to say this in a negative light because, you know, there's been so much praise of, you know, the areas up to this point, how wide and open and everything is. But it's kind of weird how this is the one area of the game that's just like this. I don't know how it is, but it's, I guess that's just the way it is. And honestly, I don't really mind going through the Bionis interior, but I kind of understand why people don't like the Bionis interior as much as, you know, certain other areas of the game. But trust me, there are a few more reasons why Bionis interior is definitely not the best area in the game, and you'll see why in the next video. Just trust me on that right now. But either way, I'm gonna take care of you later because I know you're a unique monster. And we are going to end this video off because I am at the hour mark. I am getting fucking tired. And we get a tap 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 as we discover the second lung. But this video has gone off long enough as it is. The raw recording is like over an hour, man. I don't really want to be here for like another hour. Plus I gotta go to bed. It's like 1:30. Yeah, I took a nap earlier today. I suppose why not, am I right? But let's see if I can get actually one more item orb in before, you know, because if it is the item orb, I'm gonna be impressed. Okay, that's not the item orb, but it's a item orb, so that's helping. But either way, we are done here. We made our little leadway into Bionis interior, and we're gonna see what is left to see in the Bionis interior in the next episode of Let's Play Xenoblade Chronicles. See you guys on the next time. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.